Okay, stretching my arms in the left, stretching my arms in the right, cracking my bones. There we go. Gotta make sure I crack every bone. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry for being weird. Okay, so we're back, and this is part two. Now, in the last video, we were reacting to this, and it was literally 34 minutes, but in my video, it's 40 because I talk too much. Anyways, we're gonna continue this, so here we go.
Injured.
Oh yeah, it's by Cast CreepPod. I'm missing this up already at the start. Okay, it's Creep Podcast. I found the bunker of a prepper family.
And you walk with the dog for a long time, and the message starts showing up saying, leave him. So you think the only way you can get out is to lay
Oh yeah, the Blair Witch thing.
the dog down and like leave him in the woods. But I think I did something different or went backwards or something, and it fixed it so you can get out with the dog. But I remember like walking around for a while not knowing what to do, and then seeing the message leave him, and I like my stomach dropped. Like I can't leave the dog. But Hunter would leave.
I would look at that pixelated dog and I would immediately turn around. I'd throw a bone down.
I think we already seen it. Okay, here we go again.
Pop it and top it with Kraft Parmesan cheese.
On the dusty concrete.
Down into the dark alley, and I just go the opposite direction immediately, without a hesitation.
That's good, buddy. I'm happy to hear that. My light revealed a few wet paw prints making their way down the dusty concrete tunnel. Half Bernese and half collie, Ripley is the sort of dog who trembles in my arms when a storm buffets the windows and needs his paws held when we brush him. I love him. I do not have much of a family or a wife or even many friends, but I have Ripley. I could no more have turned around and gone home to an empty apartment where I would have to sob my grief away than I could flap my arms and fly. He was my dog, and I'd raised him since he was a puppy. I wasn't going to leave him out in those woods. I went in after him. I didn't know what to... Okay, hold on. What about your wife? What if your wife went down those stairs?
Yes, I mean, even the Ripley thing made the dog sound very cute. I feel bad. I would probably go in after the dog. If it was one of my dogs, if it was Tugboat...
Oh my god.
No way. That selfish son of a bitch. I'd be like, you know what? Fucking live here, dude.
What about
Crawdad?
What about Crawdad?
Oh, I would go down for Crawdad. I'd go down for Crawdad and Rowan.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Crawdad's down there like, boo.
Yeah, I would feel very sad for Crawdad. I'd be like, she's probably afraid. Tugboat, though, I'm like, that selfish son of a bitch probably just like, oh, I live here now. Like, whatever.
If it makes you feel any better, I also would not go in for Tugboat.
I didn't know he had two dogs. This is funny. What kind of dog does he have?
That is the consensus. And people online are like, oh, he's so cute, blah, blah. And I'm like, you have no idea the selfish hatred this dog has for all of mankind.
Tugboat likes to wait until I'm like by myself in the kitchen, like drinking coffee or whatever, and then get right behind me and scream as loud as he can.
It's just unfortunate. A genetic abomination.
I didn't know what to expect, but I knew it wouldn't be good. Whatever the police had found, they not only kept most of the morbid details to themselves, they had also lied. The bunker was not demolished or even sealed off. In fact, looking at the occasional blue latex glove tossed aside and the one or two broken police issue flashlights, it seemed like the last people inside had been in a hurry to get out. Given this was where 7 people had presumably died,
Really?
I assumed it was someone's job to clean it all up.
7 people. Wait, how many family members were there? Were there just one mother, one father, and... Okay, 5 children. Okay, so it was just 7. Okay, yeah, never mind.
But the corridor looked largely
I was
untouched.
counting over here.
Just a few meters in, and manic writing started to cover the walls. The desperate scrawls of a lone survivor left there to be rediscovered like cave paintings. Most were deliberations on how to get out. Diagrams, blueprints, equations, and formula, all focused on the door and the circuits responsible for its faulty lock.
Oh.
I instinctively assumed they belonged to Daniel and that he'd been the last to die. What a god-awful fate for a man to outlive his children. And yet it got worse. Slowly, the writing changed from equations and plans to a desperate scrawl.
What? Equations and plans. What even is going on in this story? Was the father just mathematically calculating what's going on or something? Because that will not make sense for me. I am terrible at math. Even though I love math, but I'm extremely terrible at it.
The same few phrases repeated over and over. 5 doors. 5. Not 6. 6. Didn't make it.
What?
Didn't make it. 6 doors. 6.
What the heck is going on? There were 5 and then 6. What?
Oh, dude. God. Also, I just want to say, I was already spooked by the idea of like there are
Aruba,
gloves tossed and flashlights.
Ooh,
I'm telling you. See, Ripley doesn't seem so cute now, does she?
They're just being ridiculous at this point. This is getting funny.
The idea too that it's like the police are like, oh yeah, no, well, the thing's like basically broken, you shouldn't have to go up there. It's like they probably went up there, it saw something and just left it completely untouched. Like fuck that, we're not going back. No. Also the cave painting aspect thing too is insane, and watching like a person slowly mentally go insane is ugh. 5 doors, not 6.
Did I tell you about my house? What happened?
No.
What?
So the house we got, previously a guy had lived here with his wife since like they got married back in the 70s or whatever. And then she died early 2000s. And then he didn't die till like 2020. So for 18 years he was living in the house by himself. So in the basement, he just started writing messages to himself. And some of them are like notes like need to take out the trash, need to talk to so-and-so about an engine part, blah, blah, blah. But as time goes on, they start to get more like, remember to look at the dog today, like remember to blah, 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 all this stuff. And then he started to, I think, take notes about things that made him happy. Like he wrote like flowers bloom today and wrote the date and stuff like that. And above all of them, above like all the writing, he wrote on the wall sometime in 2014, baby owls flew. So like he was watching a nest of baby owls and then they took off that day and he wrote it down. So all like his like near 2 decades of writing, talking to himself is on the wall, and we're leaving that up. We're going to leave that there. But
wow. It probably is just like a nice thing of like little moments, and you get like little pieces of a person's life, but out of context and like not knowing anything about this, that's horrifying. Like you have got to try to make that into a story or something. You should write that.
Well, I want to. So I thought about either making a YouTube video or making a story called "The Man Who Lived in My House." Because between that and like walking through the house, I see other stuff he's done. Like I see stuff and I'm like, that's still like, for example, in the garage, there were all these like pieces of wood that were like drilled into the wall. What? And I'm like, why did he do that there? It's so random. Until I started using the cabinets, and with the garage door open, a draft would come in and shut all the cabinets shut. But where he has the wood drilled is just the right place that you can rotate the wood and use it as like a stopper to keep the door stuck open and stuff like that. So walking through the house, I've seen stuff that he's learned from living in it that now I'm relearning, seeing where he's put implements and things like that.
You morphing into a man on this property, like morphing into that other man, would be so crazy. You know what I mean? Like a thing of like when you buy someone else's home, you become the last tenant that lives there.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. Something weird like that. That'd be like an interesting take on like almost immortality or something. Like some kind of weird
person. That's it. Is that kind of what you got from the ending of The Shining?
What?
Honestly, don't know. Ending of The Shining is fucking weird.
Well, the ending where it's like, like, oh, you're the key.
I actually seen the signing, and it was weird. It was a weird ending. It makes sense for me. Yeah, it's a weird ending.
Keeper, you know, you've always been here, and then the picture where it's him from the 30s. So the idea is like whoever keeps the hotel, because it's like he's almost reinvigorated through the hotel again and again.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, like possibly. It's just weird too. He gave birth to, or he like his son is the guy that has this power and the shiny too. So it makes him feel very paranormal in nature. But
yeah. But no, it's a similar idea, I think, of like becoming the same person over and over again. But I've thought about, the man who lived in my house, because some of those messages are kind of like, what was the one that bothered me a bit? It was something like, I've got to quit talking about it. Something really vague like that.
Well,
like,
the things that are vague and you have no context for, you're going to dissect that how, you know what I mean? You could totally misinterpret it, but it takes on its own meaning to you in a weird way.
Yeah. I don't want, because he's still got family around, so I don't want to dox his name, but I'll text you what his name was because it adds to the thing. That was his legal name.
Wow, really?
I just texted it to you on.
And I'm looking at it. I'm seeing it. It's very, it's like a Star Wars character or something.
Wait,
what?
What?
Anyway,
you had a full on bounty hunter, like a Jedi, living in your house at one point. That's kind of crazy.
What's his name? I'm actually curious now.
He was just walking around in a Mandalorian costume.
What's his name? I'm making sure. If he's wearing a Mandalorian costume, or what he thinks he's wearing a Mandalorian costume. I don't know the name of the Mandalorian actually.
Yeah, stop.
You guys text it down below to tell me what the name of the Mandalorian looks like. I mean, his name is.
Talking about it. God. I'm an idiot.
Oh my God, please, no, I beg of you, please, drop kick.
It seemed like the kind of thing you'd find in an asylum. Psychotic rambling punctuated only by 6 paragraphs right at the end. Each letter was impeccably neat, and each small paragraph was topped with a beautifully drawn Christian cross.
Elliot Vance, age 15, a gifted guitarist. He liked boys even though he thought I didn't know. I loved him with everything I had. He would have made a great man. Alicia Vance, age 14. She liked to paint and shoot. She had her mother's mean streak. It would have served her well in the future. Elijah Vance, age 8. The smartest of us all.
These were Daniel's memorials to his family. Seeing the words lit up by my torch was a haunting insight into the overwhelming despair he'd endured. He must have realized he wouldn't get the chance to speak at his family's funerals or to write their obituaries. This was his last desperate way of making sure the world might one day know them as he did, as real people. The words marked the end of the tunnel, standing adjacent to a trapdoor in the ground. It was not open, but the tunnel came to a dead end immediately afterwards, and Ripley's prints disappeared at the hatch. I feared he might be in danger. Still, I stopped and looked at the bunker door 20 meters behind me. The once gloomy forest looked so bright. Even on this cloudy day, the air dotted with rain. Part of me felt like I was leaving the whole world behind as I began to climb the ladder down. I entered a large circular living space that was packed with furniture and little nooks and crannies. The walls were covered with folding beds and tables, and every inch was multifunctional. A dining space could become a sitting space, which in turn might be where someone slept or even exercised. It all depended on what particular bit of furniture you unfolded or unclipped or unfurled. 7 people in close quarters, nowhere near enough privacy. It made sense they went with this cluttered, overlapping use of space. But it was still a large room, bigger than most studio apartments, and there were a few corridors that led deeper into the earth, telling me the bunker had unseen depths. I looked for some sign of my dog and soon found his trail, but this far from the rainy copse, Ripley's prints were starting to fade. After barely a few meters, they petered out vaguely in the direction of a nearby door. I wanted to follow, but stopped myself from rushing onwards. It was unlikely Ripley was getting out any other way. and I'd do us no good getting hurt myself. I decided to take a look around and quickly spotted a dinner table. If I needed proof the police had not bothered with the cleanup, this was it. The plates were still out, food rotten to a strange blackened husk. A child's hat lay across one place setting. The once creamy fleece turned a sickly green and yellow. The chairs had their bricks reinforced with wooden beams fitted with long grooves so that something the width of a nail could slide into them. And on each of the cushions were foul-smelling stains that looked oddly like an ass print. I touched one with gloved hands and the material cracked audibly.
Let me see. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so it actually does say it. I found the word.
Whatever it was, similar stains were on the cutlery and plates, and there were even handprints of it placed firmly on the tablecloth. At first I thought,
this is very creepy. Like, truly creepy.
it was blood.
I like it.
That wasn't quite right. It was too contained to be leaking blood. On the back of one of the chairs, the stain tapered exactly where a woman's waist would be, like a near-perfect silhouette. I shivered as I remembered that Miranda Vance had always been a slim woman. Wondered how she left her imprint on the gray fabric. So is it implied that there was like a rot on them?
That's what I'm thinking.
Like,
it feels like some kind of decay is what
Actually, I don't know. I'm just gonna let these guys guess it because I'm not following at all. I don't know anything of what's happening in that basement. Oh, in that bunker, but what was happening in there is pretty bad.
I'm thinking. Because it's not blood. Because at first I was like, oh, fuck, is it dried blood? No, I'm thinking it's some kind of rot or decay, but it also almost seems like, like the atomic bomb, like those shadows.
The shadows of Hiroshima,
yeah, like that. It kind of makes me think of something like that too. Maybe not the shadows, but just in that way that's leaving silhouettes. But it does feel like a rot or like a mold or something.
They were at the dinner table, and the little 8-year-old's, "Mommy, look what I made!" and just opens a capsule of uranium-238.
Oh my god!
Wait, where'd you get
that? No, that's horrible, bro. God, that would be funny, actually. That would be really funny if that kid somehow found uranium in the basement, in the bunker.
Look, Mom, the power of God.
If I had to say, though, I mean, I'm probably, it almost seems like a fungus or like a mold. Like I'm thinking mold. Like a leftover decay or something.
I think a mold. He was walked into a Resident Evil 7 mansion.
Yeah, like yeah.
The baker's house. Yeah,
that definitely puts a different kind of vibe into the story of the bunker so far. Now I'm picturing it like that, like swamp house kind of thing.
Yeah, down in Dubai, down in Louisiana. Also, I didn't even think of this. How did the dog go down a ladder?
It wasn't a ladder though. It's stairs.
I thought he said he went down a ladder.
No, I think it's a staircase that goes down to the earth.
All right. Using my torch, British. Using my torch, I saw that these stains repeated in the oddest of places.
British. Bruh. I love it.
Yes, there were some on beds and blankets, and even patches of plain floor exactly like you might expect in a room full of sick people. Why did one stain on the floor bear such a strong resemblance to a child huddled in a fetal position?
Ugh.
And why was the same stuff all over the TV remote, and on books on shelves, and board games too? Everything from sofa cushions to TV boxes to piles of dirty laundry were covered in the same dried brownish material that gave off a foul, coppery miasma. I found the jigsaw particularly baffling. Someone had set up another table with 4 chairs, all modified with the same back support as those by the dinner table. And a jigsaw had been laid out with 4 separate piles, but only one was depleted. The rest looked largely untouched, almost like someone had portioned out pieces for 3 other people who had absolutely no interest in going along with it. Maybe Daniel had tried to keep up morale while the family were sick. God help me. If that were true, I couldn't help but imagine the poor man sat there with his loved ones close to death, desperately trying to encourage them to click their own pieces.
Okay, my question is, how were they dying in the bunker? Like, isn't it supposed to be a safe place? I need to know how did this all start in the bunker? Like, how did all of them start getting sick and stuff? Is it some kind of mutated illness that's like eating their entire bodies and probably like doing something to them? God, it's just Resident Evil. I think me Kenyon's right, or wait, the other guy's right.
Place while they faded in and out of consciousness.
Oh my God, why?
Okay, so here's my theory off of that line. His family was dead pretty early on, and
Yeah,
he
right.
was like playing house, like setting them upright. His
What the heck
family was
that?
dead pretty early on, and he was like playing house.
Who's that?
Like setting them upright, decaying in their chairs, and moving them over to play jigsaw and stuff like that.
So are you saying that there was like, are you saying that you think that the guy killed them and he was like messing with their bodies?
Or on accident, they died.
Okay. So you're not sure yet if you're like, you think that the doctor had any ill intent or anything yet. You think it's just like, you think he maybe just went crazy then or something? I mean, I'm guessing I'm trying to see like, because I like that idea of a guy like basically playing house and like positioning stuff, and he's just like going about this like twisted.
And the stains are like the rotting corpse.
Right.
Corpses.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think either he went crazy and took them down there and killed them, or bringing them down there got them killed somehow.
I feel like bringing them down there got them sick.
Maybe the police were right. It was a waterborne illness, just they died. But then everything that happened afterwards is like him acting like they're okay with the bodies for like a year.
I feel like they got sick or something, and like they were existing with this illness that was like making them fucking ooze or do something.
That was my theory too.
Could be that. Something about that room emanated madness. The longer I stayed down there, flicking the bright discs of light off my torch from one detail to another, the more I wanted to leave. One door had wooden beams nailed across it. One sofa had been partially disassembled. Multiple beds had been burned. And all the light bulbs had been removed and put in a box on the kitchen countertop. Looking up at the ceiling, I finally had some insight into why the police were so confident the Vances had not survived despite never finding their bodies. Someone had jammed a human finger into one of the empty sockets. Almost like they expected it to glow with the flick of a switch. What was it about this place that had caused the police to leave and never return? Not to even take that finger and test it for signs of illness, or even just to confirm who it belonged to. I decided it was time to hurry up and find my dog. People had died in that place. While I'm not superstitious, I can't be the only skeptic who has done the calculations in his head and realized it costs nothing to be respectful of ghosts. It's a funny line. Right. That bunker was cramped, terrifying, and the air stank so bad I started to worry I'd get sick myself. It served no one any good to linger. But I'd be damned if I just walk away and leave Ripley to rot down there. It's not like he could climb a ladder and get out of it on his own, even if I wasn't entirely sure how he'd gotten down there in the first place.
Oh, so you were right. I thought it was a staircase, but no. Yeah, so it almost seems like if his paw prints are down there, then it kind of seems like something grabbed him and took him down.
Mm-hmm. Here's an even worse idea. Here's an even more terrible idea. Something has either his dog's legs or something that looks like dog legs and like is making little stamps on the ground.
Oh yeah, that he thinks is his dog.
Yeah. I also like how you tried to gaslight me out of the ladder thing, and it worked.
This episode's sponsored by Tushy. Tushy is the luxury bidet that your bathroom has been. 2-in-1 bit bathrooms, and that's the day everyone is taught. That's 10% off your first
silence. Something which
that's 10% off your first bidet. Order at hellotushy.com with promo code CreepCast. Thanks to Tushy for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back to the episode.
Oh, God.
Summoning what little bravery I had left, I called out and broke the silence. Something which felt like a terrible taboo in that god-awful place. Like screaming in a graveyard.
Ripley!
I waited and hoped to hell I'd hear the pitter-patter of his paws, but for the longest of moments, it's only the kind of silence that makes you wonder if something or someone in the darkness is holding its breath.
Okay, yeah, so it's definitely not right about that bunker anymore. I think whatever's in that bunker is now living there, and it's gonna literally kill anyone that enters in there or kidnap
Trying to
them.
look like just another patch of nothing, biding its time until you finally turn around and show it your back. The TV came on with a blurt of white noise that was so loud and so sudden I cried, threw my arms up, and nearly fell backwards onto a rolled out sleeping bag and looked like it had been a week in the sewer. By the time I realized what had caused the noise, I could already hear a tiny rendition of Daniel Vance's voice.
I realize the issue here. I need to emphasize just how little I understand anything.
I frowned at the screen as I approached. It showed a greenish infrared view of the bunker with Daniel up front and the dinner table behind him. It was grainy and hard to see, but I could clearly tell that his family were sitting in those chairs.
Miranda was first to fall ill. Looking back, it makes perfect sense. Miranda often went into stores to fetch food for cooking. We found it behind one of the refrigerators, so...
That is a noise.
That's... Shit.
One of the figures in the background slumped onto the table with a loud clank as in a plate spinning off onto the ground.
Shit.
Daniel muttered as he got up and grabbed the woman by the shoulder and set her upright.
Miranda never did like my cooking.
Snorted a laugh as he fussed with something at the back of the chair.
The rods are much better than tape. All those hours spent taping them up right
That was funny. The laughing thing.
to the chairs never worked, but the rods, they fit right into the spine with a little modification. I can just slot them into the chairs. That way everyone's able to join in for dinner. I'm working on something similar for family game night.
Great bear trap, dude.
Dear God.
So, a reluctant...
That caught me off. That scream actually caught me off guard. And also, what is that movie? I'm very curious what that movie is. It seems kind of interesting, and it's definitely not the scream that got me giggling here.
Bear trap, I will say, because that's brutal.
Yeah, I mean, shoving the rods into their spine is insane.
In your family spine. So you
Also-
can be like, haha, they're still, she never liked my cooking.
I have a feeling this man Frankenstein them all.
So he's coexisting with something because he's like, Miranda would go down and fetch food, so she saw the thing first, right? So
Yeah.
he's aware. He's aware of
It
something
could also
going
be
on.
like a mold or some growth or something back there.
Yeah.
That caused
Yeah.
it. But what's weird is he yells out Ripley and then the TV just turns on, right?
Yeah.
And it's a recording of Daniel in this room doing it. So there's something going on there, right? By the way, it's probably apparent at this point, but this rules so far.
Christian Walls, man.
This
One of the
whole
goats.
story. Oh my God. I mean, even like he is one of the goats, but even amongst his works, this is one of my, just the setting, the stuff, this is one of my favorite setups so far. So I can see it so plainly in my head, all the details, the moments.
Yeah, I don't know if you feel the same. I feel like I'm just picturing the bunker as the same from Cloverfield Lane or whatever.
I was thinking about that earlier, Cloverfield Lane. Yeah, I'm thinking of the room as more like a concrete open. I have this clear image in my mind of it. Yeah, I have this. You know, it's weird. I think it's the same image in my mind that came when I first read The Road, and it talks about the father and son finding the supplies in the bunker. But I don't know where I got that original image from.
Could have been the
weird.
movie or no?
Yeah, that's I probably because the way my mind works is it builds off of stuff I've seen in real life, right?
Sure.
Or like in visual storytelling. So I feel like it had to come from somewhere, but I can't remember where it came from originally.
Yeah, I'm curious
So
what other people
maybe
think.
it is
'Cause,
Clover.
my
maybe it is
mind,
Cloverfield Lane, and I'm forgetting. What that
mine
one
is
looks
just
like.
when I hear like bunker, it just whatever the first thing that pops up, I feel like it just sticks. And to me, as soon as you said bunker,
I'm not thinking about anything right now.
I was even picturing the doctor kind of looks like John Goodman. It's like it's like just like kind of like it's building that kind of visual in my head.
Yeah,
Not saying it's just one for one.
Close.
But, yeah.
Who else loves Cloverfield Lane? I watched many different parts of the movies of it. I think there was like a whole series of it. Anyways, I think it's about that time again. We'll leave it from here. So, thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel and Twitch channel. I'll see you guys next.